Released on 11/11/11, this pathetic man-in-drag-style comedy film from SNL alum Adam Sandler brought in an astonishing $142 million at the box office, close to double its $79 million budget. Sandler stars as both Jack and Jill, a pair of ugly fraternal twins who don't seem to get along with one another. After visiting for the holidays, things become more complicated when one of Jack's prospective clients, Al Pacino, playing himself in what I can only assume is a ridiculous exaggeration, curiously falls for Jill.
Let it just float.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and not hold me like this?
All right, I'm just trying to show you.
I know.
All you gotta do is make contact. That's all.
I feel like this is your game, and it's not my game. If you want to play my game, Hungry Hungry Hippo Saturday, do you have that here? Or do you guys...
That's coming. Je te lève ton sépi, je me tombe.
Je comprends pas.
Just throw it.
Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm sure you have others, though.
You'd think it, but oddly enough, I don't.
Oddly enough, I don't. It's an almost cringeworthy line in an otherwise decent scene, one of the few in the film. Now here's a guy who was nominated for 4 consecutive Academy Awards, and now he's trying to feel up a guy in drag. How the mighty have fallen. Scene after scene of dry exposition fly by with little cohesion, making most of this movie feel like a chore rather than an enjoyable comedy. The rest of what transpires over this pointlessly long 91-minute film is neither interesting nor relevant, except to say that Adam Sandler is quite possibly the least convincing crossdresser in the history of cinema. While sophomoric and inherently shallow, this concept can be pulled off effectively. Think about Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire, who was absolutely hilarious in a similar situation. Sandler's best days seem behind him though. His most recent films, Funny People, Grown Ups, and Just Go With It, were all pretty disappointing. And now, this once iconic funny man that brought us Happy Gilmore and Waterboy is nominated for a record-breaking 11 Razzie Awards, which celebrate the worst films in cinema. While this clean, family-friendly PG movie certainly means well, even the best of intentions couldn't keep a boring and unfunny mess like this afloat. The writing is just uninspired and lazy, resorting to a weak fart joke just 30 seconds into the movie. And the few jokes that do work are repeated to the point of annoyance. Nothing here is outright awful, but when a film fails to entertain on even the most basic levels of curiosity, it is best if avoided. Perhaps children or die-hard Sandler fans will find something to enjoy here, but for the rest of us, Jack and Jill is a painfully unfunny, poorly written sideshow. Well, now that you've heard my review, let's check out the YouTube comments to see what you had to say. Okay, and here we go with a slightly reworked version of the Rate-O-Matic. I've decided to replace the word crappy with lame, and bad has been moved down a spot. I think it makes a little bit more sense this way. But now on to our ratings for Jack and Jill. A 1 and a 1. You called this film everything from torture, a chore, less comfortable than a colonoscopy, a waste of time, utterly humorous and dreadful. It's no surprise then you gave it the lowest score possible, garbage. This most certainly isn't the worst film I've ever seen, but I'm hard-pressed to think of a more terrible comedy. I thought it was garbage as well.